God had a purpose. If I didn't have a disability, was I going to be where I am today? When I was growing up, my mom always told me that whenever you are up, look down to your poor relations and those who are less fortunate. Giving up should never be an option. I'm a married man with a beautiful wife. If she's not just a beautiful, she's so rich. There's this natural beauty that cannot be found in 20,000 women. That's what my wife is.
Talk to us about that love story.
We found each other.
Yellow Wisdom and Purpose family, thank you so much for wisdoming and purposing with us. ImeTheFinest here. Joining me is Ambassador Nyasha Nhau, a renowned award-winning journalist, disability rights activist, and continental champion for disability inclusion. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me.
When you was coming here, what was in your mind? What were you thinking?
When I was coming here, I was thinking that we are going to discuss about disability because I know most people, when they look for me, especially journalists, they would want to discuss with me issues to do with inclusion. They want me to comment on disability-related issues. So I was just having that in mind. And of course, I was well prepared.
Yeah, I know you was well prepared. So I always start with this question to understand things that shaped the person. So we want to understand, what is your earliest childhood memory that you think has defined the person you are today?
My childhood memory that I would think. At first, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a priest. That was my dream. I thought one day I would be a Roman Catholic priest. But as life goes by, it took just a dramatic turn. That's when I realized that I have a passion in journalism. That's where my passion lies. During my secondary school, I was in the school writers club. I attended Daniko Secondary School for persons with disabilities. I had this passion about writing. I'm I'm the founder of Daniko Writers Club. At school, I'm the one who introduced this club because I had passion on writing. We did a magazine from there. Yeah, I just said, journalism is where I belong.
You mentioned that you wanted to be a Roman Catholic priest. Why?
Every young man, when you're a Roman Catholic, I was an altar saver boy, by the way. We grew up admiring priests who came to bless us during the masses. So I was admiring the way they were doing their things. So I didn't realize that maybe it was because I was still very young, So when I was growing older and older, that's when I realized that, no, this is not my field.
When I was reading through your bio, I read somewhere says that you was born without disability. What happened? Can you take us through the journey?
Yes, I was not born with a disability. It started when I was in grade 6. That's when I just fell down when I was walking. If I was playing with other kids, I just fell down. That I had an injury on my right leg, my right hand, I mean to say. In grade 7, again, the same incident happened, repeated itself, but in a different way. I had an injury on my leg. Then, when I was in Form 1, I was serving Mass in Roman Catholic Church. I was holding this missal book. The priest was reading the missal book. I was just standing. I was not walking. Again, I just fell back. The same leg, same place. I also had another injury. It happened from grade 6 until I was in Form 3. That's exactly what happened until doctors said your disability is now permanent. But they tried to find out what really caused this disability. They could not find anything. At first, they thought it was polio. They did all the tests, but they could not come up with the diagnosis, the exact diagnosis, until they just say, no, we just have to accept that we have a disability. Let's just call it a physical disability. Yeah. So doctors, they are not allowed to say things that are not medical, but you would understand the situation that some doctors would take you on the side and have a set meeting with you and said, Nyasha, they even told my mom that we think this is something spiritual because we've tried everything. We are not allowed to say this, but that's exactly what everyone is saying. I was seen by over 56 doctors at Parenyatua Hospital, specialist doctors, blacks, whites, Chinese, Indians, but they did not come up with any diagnosis to find out what exactly is really happened. Yeah, so that's what happened. I was also a soccer player. I was a soccer player since I was very young. I was a goalkeeper until grade 7. Form 1, I was no longer able to play football. One of my legs became shorter than the other, same as one of my hands, because it's either this would happen every year, usually same time, same period. If it's in January or if it's in October, so one of my legs became shorter, one of my hands became shorter than the other, same position, so that's how my disability came about. Yeah, sure.
I'm sure it comes with a trauma associated with it. How did you manage to overcome the trauma?
I was fortunate enough that I had my mom by my side. She was a very strong woman. Unfortunately, she's now late. She was may so continue to rest in peace. She was a very strong woman. She never showed me. I mean, she never allowed the community, the society, to define who is Nyasha, because I now have a disability. She would give me words of hope and encouragement. She always stood by my side, encouraging me to pursue my dreams. She really understood that she had discovered that I am a writer, because I also wrote a novel entitled Soulmate. It's actually a sad love and a crime drama that I wrote, and we are hoping that soon it will be started being acting to be on air, right? Should support me. I directed about 3 television plays, edited the scripts. I was helping a number of TV producers, right? I also once worked with the that's Mr. Arnold Shoko at ZBC. So my mom understood that she realized that my child is into writing, so she would support me, and she didn't allow the community to define my destination because I had a disability. I want to tell you this. She never felt so. I mean, she didn't want to show me how she felt when I got a disability. When the doctors told her that your son is now a permanent disability, she didn't even show me that it hurts her, but I could actually see it. That no, my mom is disturbed, but she kept going. She kept supporting me.
Let me take you back. When the doctors said it's something spiritual, how did you take it?
Yeah, I was in Form 3, right? I was not that mature enough to try and find out what that meant, so I just take it lightly. But when I grew up, that's when I started realizing that true, this was spiritual. I was very intelligent, even in my community. I also want to thank the people in my community where I grew up. because they would support me. They never changed their attitude towards me because I had a disability. They knew that the young man is very intelligent. Even the elders in the community, in the society, they would come to me for advice. Hey, Nyasha, we have this situation. Yeah, okay, they used to call me Nyale. Pandeta Babora and Nyale. Yeah, that was the student name. Yeah. So they would come to me, seek advice. Is other people. Whenever there's a community gathering, they would call me. Nyasha, come here. We have this meeting. For example, the council of Chitungu they are not collecting garbage. There's no water. There's no water. They would engage me into advocacy, and they would lead in front, but with my advice. I was behind the back, organizing everything. No, we have to do A, B, C, D, so that the council should deliver the services to the people. So I was very intelligent to that extent. That I was approached in community issues. Yeah, by the
elders. Let me take you back. After high school, you studied journalism. Why journalism?
Like I said
before,
is
it something you chose for yourself, or someone said, no, Nyasha?
I chose it for myself, and I was supported by the former member of parliament of St. Mary's constituency, Mr. Marvelous Kumalo. He supported me a lot because he took me to the Media Institute of Southern Africa, where we were trained on community media. By the Media Institute of Southern Africa, we trained there until I rose. A lot of organizations get interested in working with me. I ended up working at Community Radio Harare. Community Radio Harare, it's one of the biggest community radio stations in Zimbabwe.
Kora, right?
Kora, yes, Kora, yeah. That's where I was bred and parted at Community Radio Harare in terms of journalism. Also, I had the opportunity, I had the privilege to be mentored by Mr. Albert Masaka, the director of Zim Community News. He mentored me in journalism. And today I can say to myself, I'm a bullet when it comes to journalism in relation to disability. Yes, because of those people. Mr. Give Mochi Peret, Community Radio Harare. All those people, they groomed me. But it was all the efforts from Mr. Marvelous Kumalo, who identified me during my secondary school days.
With the current state of the media industry, especially in Zimbabwe, what's your take? What do you think about it? Is it still worth it?
Yeah, it is still worth it. The world has gone digital. That's rule number one. That's why people like you are doing this initiative. It's a podcast, right? We've moved from analog to digital. So there are always ways to navigate. Of course, the economy is very challenging. We have economic challenges, but we can still build up something as a journalist. Because journalism usually comes with passion. Journalism comes with a passion. So people should not stop chasing their dreams because things are not okay in the country. And we are hoping that things will not remain the same. Things, they are going to get better, So if I am to advise someone who want to take journalism, I would say go for it. We should not. We should aim high. There's a saying goes, other people say, aim on the moon, so that when you fall on one of the stars. Meaning to say, don't aim doing journalism because we just want to get a job here in Zimbabwe. You can even go in other countries. Right, you can be employed in other countries. Besides, you can be your own boss. Right, we have people like Ola, DJ Ola. Ola is now his own boss. Yeah. Sure.
Wait, what was the turning point when you realized that I want to focus on disability in your career?
Yeah, when I was growing up, my mom always told me that whenever you are up, look down to your poor relations and those who are less fortunate. She would say these words frequently, right? So my mom would tell me, you know what, Nyasha? You're so brilliant. I know whatever happened is happened. God had a purpose. And it's now materializing. Your words are now materializing that, sure, God had a purpose. If I didn't have a disability, was I going to be where I am today? So sometimes we find that God has a purpose in life. So for me to pursue on disability, I was privileged, or I was fortunate enough to have people surrounding me who were very supportive, who were very encouraging, who did not discriminate me. People who would encourage me to do great things in life, So, but there are some persons with disabilities. We have parents of, caregivers of persons with disabilities. For example, you have a child with a disability. You give birth to a child with disabilities, and you are just given by the doctors, your child has a disability, or go and take care of your child at home. For the first time, the trauma that you encounter, they just give you, they don't teach you what are you supposed to do with that child. So people like us, that's where we are sent by God to come and be a shoulder to lean on to the caregivers of persons with disabilities, to my fellow brothers and sisters with disabilities. Educate each other, encourage each other, motivate each other, give each other advice, on how to go about such situations, So I was driven by that passion. I was just born with a good heart to assist not only persons with disabilities, but just anyone who is in need of getting a help. Whenever I can, I would assist. If I'm not able to assist, I would run around and make sure that I connect you with the right people, with the right people who should assist you in a situation. So I can say I was driven not only by passion, but it's an inborn thing that came into me. And I now realize that God has a purpose for me to have a disability, and I don't regret. Yeah, sure.
You are mentioning God. What's your relationship like with God?
Okay, I was born a Christian, and I'm still a Christian. I believe in God. Let me tell you this. Every time I wake up, I pray, I talk to God. The same when I'm sleeping, I'm going to sleep, I also talk to God, because I believe that God had a purpose. Whatever we want in life, we should ask from God. We should tell God what we want and seek for guidance and wisdom. Yeah, so I just believe that without God, I wouldn't be where I am today.
I know doing this advocacy work, working with a lot of people, doing a lot of interactions comes with a lot of challenges.
Sure.
So what keeps you going?
What keeps me going? The biggest thing that keeps me going is the passion to be where I want to be. I want to make a name not only for myself, but for my country as well, to show the world that disability truly that does not mean inability. We persons with disabilities can also uplift the flag of our country high within our sector. And we can also be a force to reckon with, such as our able-bodied counterparts. That's exactly what driven me to keep on going. Of course, challenges, we always come across challenges as we are doing our work.
Are you happy with the progress now?
With the progress, I'm very much happy. I'm very much happy because I've achieved a lot of things in terms of disability inclusion. In my constituents, I've achieved a lot of things, and some of the things I'm still shocked that, is it me? How did I get there? How did I get there? Because I was not supposed to be there. For example, when I was appointed into Commonwealth Disability Inclusion Action Plan Steering Committee, I was so shocked because Zimbabwe is not in Commonwealth, right? Consider that Zimbabwe is not in Commonwealth. They just said, we want you on board because we really feel that your energy, your expertise in disabilities can help us to achieve these goals. I contributed to the Commonwealth disability policy. which is expected to be launched in November in Antigua and Barbuda during the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. I also contributed to the draft of this policy, But I am a Zimbabwean, right? Up to now, I ask myself, what? Is this really happening? Whenever I receive emails, we are going to have a meeting, be it online or in this country, you are invited, it's something that even when I was appointed, I was talking to the guys at our embassy, because it happened when I was in New York in America. So soon after my appointment, I was talking to the guys at our Zimbabwe embassy. Guys, I was appointed into Commonwealth. I was approached by Commonwealth guys who want to work with me. They said, no, it's impossible. How come? We are not in Commonwealth. What are you saying, you young man? So, but yeah, when I received the official letter, and it was publicized in the media and everywhere, those who wanted to really confirm, doubting Thomas's, they call it the Commonwealth. Is this really happening? And yeah, the real is happening. So I can proudly say, there's a lot of progress in that.
Have you ever reached a point where you was like, no, I'm giving up?
So far.
I mean, from the day you started.
From the day I started. As for me, no. Let me give you this example. Right. There's an organization called ProWeb.
Oh, okay.
ProWeb, they usually deal with women. Young women. They came to Chitungwiza, where I grew up, and they wanted to have an entrepreneurship, not entrepreneurship, but a business entrepreneurship training program for 12 months to train young people. They were targeting about 300 young people, but they didn't know how to mobilize these young people. They didn't want young people from a certain area, but from across Chitungwiza. Right. When they came into our community and approached some counselors, some elders, they said, the only person who could help you to mobilize these people is Nyasha. Can you show us where Nyasha is? This program was being supported by the US aid, UK aid, Sweden Embassy, Canada, DFID, a number of international organizations. Then I received a phone call with visitors. They want to see you here. Then I met the visitors. When they saw me, they said, so all these these elders, these able-bodied men are saying this guy is the one who's supposed to help us mobilize 300 young people from Chitungwiza. How is he going to do this, to do that? You get the sense, right? They underestimated my capability. In Chitungwiza.
How did you feel at that time?
No, they did not say it really, but I could.
You could feel it.
Yes, I could feel it, but later on they ended up testifying. Nyasha. When we first saw you, they even told their donors when they came on the graduate. When we first saw this guy, I said, these elders are very crazy. What are they trying to do? But we just said, let's give it a try. Right. So I helped them to mobilize 300 people in less than 24 hours. They were so shocked. I created a WhatsApp group. Seke, all constituencies in Chitungwiza, even in Seke rural. Right. I mobilized, they wanted 300. I mobilized 200 only. Right. Then I said to them, I forgot to ask you something. This was now over the phone. I forgot to ask you something. And say, can you do me a favor? They said, what kind of a favor, Mr. Now? But out of the 300 young people that you want to train on business entrepreneurship, you want to give them capital and everything, you want to support them so that they're economically empowered, may you kindly allow me to have 100 of them being persons with disabilities. They said, we never thought about it. Yes, it's okay. Then already the list of persons with disabilities, I added them in the list. So I gave them 300 people, including persons with disabilities. And we ended up doing this program across the country. All provinces I was mobilizing. Right. They, up to now, they don't have ways to say, you are very influential. How do you do this? So I just read that it's just a gift. It's grace.
All right,
You know,
let's talk
so
about,
out of 1,200 who were trained only in Harare, 15% of them were persons with disabilities. That's how I create opportunities for my fellow brothers and sisters with disability. Whenever I got an opportunity, I try to create something for them. Yes.
yeah, you are doing a good work, amazing work. Thank you for doing what you are doing. So you founded Emancipation Disability Constituents Trust. What are the challenges you have faced in establishing that organization, and how did you manage to overcome them?
Yeah, the challenge that I faced in founding Emancipated Disability Constituents Trust is the resistance from the constituents, because already I was a threat in the constituents. I was a threat in the constituents. They knew that with the impact that this guy have, he's also into media, and want to create an organization. What is going to happen? They thought I was there to compete with them, but no, that was not the issue. I created this organization in honor of my late mother, who used to encourage me to support my fellow brothers and sisters with disabilities. You know, so, but yeah, I just continue to do my work. I did not allow the things that divide our constituents to stop me from pursuing the agenda of Emancipated Disability Constituency Trust. So up to now, it is still existing, and we are doing a lot of work. Yesterday, we were in partnership with the African Union Disability Council. Of course, we're in Mount Daruno donating wheelchairs. You know, yeah, we source wheelchairs from outside the country and try to support not only wheelchairs but all assistive devices. You know, yeah, that's what it
I
is.
hate to ask you this. What does success mean to you?
Success. Taking it in my own example, right? To be a successful person, it means you have to achieve the goals that you have set for yourself, and even exceed those goals, until you, the owner, start wondering if really it's you. Yeah, that's what I think.
How do you handle self-doubt?
Self-doubt. Yeah, as for me, I have a lot of confidence. I have a lot of confidence.
You don't
Yeah.
doubt, you believe. But how did you manage to build that? Because in many people, they struggle. They struggle to believe in themselves.
Especially those with the disabilities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also, I wanted to ask that, how did you manage to find your purpose? Because a lot of people, especially those, even those without disability, but those with disability in particular, what's your message to them when it comes to finding a purpose?
Thank you very much. Like I said before, I was fortunate enough to have people around me in the community, the society, who would support me regardless of having my disability. You know, so my message to the caregivers of persons with disabilities and to persons with disabilities themselves is that do not never lose hope. Never lose hope. Why? Don't look at what the community say about you, because they also think about what you are saying about them, right? So let's just be focused. Be yourself. Have your agenda written down. Have a clear mind of what you want to do, what you want to achieve as a person. Accept yourself first before, so that the world will accept you. If you fail to accept yourself as a person with disabilities, it's going to be difficult for the world to accept you. And that I can tell you. But once you start accept yourself, boost your confidence. Look at what Chipo does. Look at what Great Man does. You know, Great Man engages in a lot of verbal fights with his supporters, you know, with his followers on social media. Why? Because he does that just to show them that I'm also a human being, regardless of my disability. See me first as Great Man, then my disability later. you know. So that's exactly what helped me. I did not allow the community to define me by my disability. That's why in the community activities, I would be engaged, I would participate in the community activities. I want to encourage my fellow brothers and sisters with disabilities, their caregivers, that whenever there is a community gathering, get involved. Go out there with your son, your daughter with the disabilities. You should meet with the community. Don't hide them. That confidence you are giving them will help themselves to be where people like me are today. It is as a result of how my mother supported me. She never said, now I have my son is a disability, so he should not attend funerals, he should not go to parties, he should not go to weddings. My mother would talk me there, the weddings, to the funerals, meet with the, yes.
Mr. Now, have you ever failed, or what's your approach when it comes to failing?
Comes to?
To failing.
Failure. Right, yeah. Failure can be an option. Failure can be an option. We can fail. That's why there is a word called never give up. A word. Failure is an option, but giving up should never be an option. Giving up. So whenever you are doing, even you are doing business, that's why there's a word called risk. You are taking a risk, really, because there's a possibility that you might fail. So you should not stop trying because you have a fear of failing. No.
Well, you have worked with big organizations, AUs, and a lot of them, and you received a lot of accolades. Yeah, sure. How did you manage to secure those big deals?
Yeah.
Just to summarize,
It's a difficult question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a difficult question. All these awards have been nominated unknowingly because people, they are seeing the work that I'm doing on the ground. Those people who are seeing the work that I'm doing on the ground, organizations that I work with, are the ones who usually nominate me to these awards. Usually your work should speak volumes. Your work should speak for itself. The work that you do on the ground. By so doing, I tell you, you will not get worried about what people are saying. Keep on going and have the strength. These are some of the things that led me to be where I am today. That's why I've won these several awards. One of the awards that I got was from Amnesty International. I'm very proud about this award in partnership with Alive Albinism Initiative, Alive Foundation, and Shamwari Manasikana. It was given only to 12 men. Among those 12 men was Dr. Strive Masiwa. So yeah, of course I'm proud to be.
Congratulations for that.
So yeah, that award motivated me. Even those who gave me the award don't even know how this award contributed to where I am today, because I started having a confidence that given an award alongside Dr. Strive Masiwa.
All right, we are running out of our time, so let's just do a
round up.
one.
It's okay.
Sure. So what's one thing you are doing now that is pushing you out of your comfort zone, and why?
Can you come again?
What's one thing that you are doing currently that is pushing you out of your comfort zone, and why?
Yeah, right now I have a lot of challenges that we are facing. Me as a person and as an organization, but the challenge is one. Is that my fellow brothers and sisters with disabilities, a number of them, those who are in rural areas, they don't have enough resources. They don't have assistive devices. A wheelchair costs $300, $400, $500, depending on the type. Those who are in remote areas, they cannot afford to send their children to school, how will they be able now to buy a wheelchair? My inbox, all my phones, almost whenever I open up my WhatsApp, you are receiving a message with evidence. We have this child, he's 23 years, he can't walk, we can't do this, we don't have assisted. It's something that is affecting me, because these constituents, I have passion for my constituents. So I'm working extra hard to ensure that we get enough resources, not only from donors, but from our government as well. We encourage the government to increase budget to the Ministry of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, because that's where the disability constituency falls under. The ministry is overwhelmed and the budget is too little. Why am I saying so? Because Ministry of Public Service, Labour and Social Workers, they fall under that ministry. Orphans, they fall under that ministry. The elderly and persons with disability. And disability comes with a cost. It comes with a cost. And we have a number of persons with disabilities who have trained in different skills. So we are trying to come up with ways to raise capital. We want to start making wheelchairs, crashes from here in Zimbabwe. We have everything it takes. Some of our colleagues with disabilities, they are working in South Africa. They are doing exactly that, producing devices for the government of South Africa. We want them to come back and assist us so that life becomes easier. So it's very challenging, and this is giving me sleepless nights.
You ran for councillor in 2018.
Yes.
What does that experience taught you about yourself and about other people?
About that, right? It was about 48 hours before the Constitutional Court closing date for nominations. Then I was approached. I was coming from Community Radio Harare. It was on a Thursday. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure it was on a Thursday. Is it Thursday? I don't quite remember the day. So I was approached by the community elders. They say, no, we want you to represent us. Can you be a councillor? A councillor? What are you trying? No, I can't do that. I know, I want you to be a councillor. Sure, yes. But why? Why means that you have everything it takes. Regardless of your disability, you have everything it takes. We are tired of these guys from both the ruling party and the opposition. You can run as an independent and we'll vote for you. So, no, but look, it's now just 48 hours from the closing date. They said, no, we are going to mobilize everything, all the resources, and we'll make sure that you registered. And
was it about the closing date only, or you were scared of other things?
One, it was about the closing date. Two, I was scared about both the ZANU-PF and MDC because they were very powerful in urban areas. Those comrades, they command a large number. So let me cut you there.
Unfortunately, you are running out of our time. And let's talk about the lessons you have learned from that experience.
From that experience, I learned that it was worth a try. It was worth trying because out of the 16 candidates that participated in my ward, St. Mary's Ward 1, St. Mary's, I came out number 3 from, is it MDC or Triple C? I don't know. Then it's ZANU-PF and myself. I was number 3, and the people will say, why didn't you tell us that you want to run for a council? Otherwise, you were going to win. So ndikatotaura kuti dai ndakazvitanga kare ndakagwina
chimwe. In the future, are you looking forward to participate in politics?
No, I no longer want to participate in politics. No, I no longer want to participate. But I would want to encourage and support those with disabilities who would want to take part in decision-making processes, not only as voters, but also as candidates. I would love to support them and mobilize resources to support them wherever they are. We want a voice. Not only in the August House, but even at local level. We want a voice Can you imagine? We only have 2 senators. Disability constitute 15% of the total population, and we only have 2 senators representing the whole disability constituency of over 2 million people. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we want more representatives. Yeah.
All right, as we close, I want you to look at this camera and,
Yes.
and read a letter you would write to an 18-year-old Nyasha Now. Just 1 minute later. Let's do it.
A letter that I would
A
write.
letter you would write to an 18-year-old Nyasha Now.
Genius. Nyasha Nhau, 18-year-old Nyasha Now is a genius. 60 cents. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Any final words? Anything that you always wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm a married man with a beautiful wife. In fact, she's not just beautiful, she's so rich. There's this natural beauty that cannot be found in 20,000 women. That's what my wife is.
Anyway, before we close, let's just talk about that. How did you find her? What happened? Talk to us about that love story.
We found each other.
Yeah.
Okay, I had traveled to Mount Darwin with work. Yeah, it was during COVID-19. And also it was after a disappointment. And I traveled to Mount Darwin with work. I used to manage an organization owned by a philanthropist and businessman, Mr. Jimai Muduru, who just opened a hospital, an 850-bedded hospital in Kadoma. So I was managing his disability initiatives, particularly the health side, as a manager at the hospital, taking care of persons with disabilities. So I was sent out. We're traveling across the country, giving food hampers, PPEs for COVID-19 to persons with disabilities and the elderly. So traveling across the country. That's where I met my wife, Roimbo. So when we wanted people who could mobilize persons with disabilities in the community, we heard that she's one of the people who had mobilized persons with disabilities. She was friendly with persons with disabilities, So that's where we met with my wife.
I'm happy your story will teach someone out there with a disability that you can also do it.
You can also do it, yes.
Yeah. So what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for uplifting others, especially those in my constituents of disabilities, making a difference, supporting them so that they are also economically empowered. We don't want. It hurts me to see my fellow brothers and sisters in the streets, begging power. It hurts me. But there's no any country in this world that doesn't have beggars. But we are saying we have to reduce the number, especially among persons with disabilities. We are gifted, we are talented, we can do skills training programs to help them come out of the streets. Yes.
All right. We have what we call the final 5. So I'm going to ask you 5 random questions, then you answer them 1 word or 1 sentence.
Okay.
What is my first question? What is the best and worst advice you ever received? Let's start with the best advice.
Best advice. Best advice. I was advised by my colleagues in the journalism field to stay in the disability lane. Even when I'm writing articles, covering stories, continue with this disability aspect.
What is the worst advice?
The worst advice that I got from people is that they advised me before I married my wife. They said, comrade, you should find someone with a disability. How can this beautiful girl accept to be your wife, yet you have a disability? Yeah, that was a bad advice, because love is connected through the heart. Yes, sure.
If you are to make one universal law, which one would it be?
Universal law. People, they should just love one another.
If you had to rewrite your life story, which part would you rewrite?
Part that I rewrite in my story. Uh,
Anyways, let's leave it like that. My final and last question is, what's one thing you are proud of accomplishing but you don't get enough credit for?
yeah, my disability advocacy. I've achieved a lot in terms of, and I'm recognized in other countries, not in my country. In other countries, they recognize me, they respect me. Today, if I go to Cameroon, today, if I go to Kenya, today, if I go to South Africa, yeah, they respect the work that I'm doing in the disability constituency, because I'm not only doing it, I'm not only doing this work for the Zimbabwean community. I'm doing this for persons with disabilities in Africa. You know, for example, here in Zimbabwe, we have, not only Zimbabwe, but across Africa, I've secured scholarships for persons with disabilities. Some they are studying online, some they are studying abroad. We have a partnership with the University of Luxembourg, Limitless Solutions Global, where we are supporting persons with disability. Some they are doing farming right now, giving them inputs, you know. Yeah, and we are going to help them ensure that their inputs reach to the off taker. You know, I'm doing a lot of things, not only Zimbabwe.
My brother,
So
I'm
I'm
so
proud.
excited for you, man. I'm happy for you. Keep on doing what you are doing. The sky is the limit. You are inspiring a lot of people. And
Thank
you are
you
a
so
treasure. Thank
much.
you so much for coming.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
let me turn over to our viewers. Thank you so much for watching this episode. This is Wisdom and Purpose with Ime, where we help you and more wisdom become happier, healthier, and more wiser. So sometimes more healed. So all what I want you to do right now is to hit the subscribe button and share our content so that we will reach more people. But for now, we are out.